we also have, the Supreme Court coming down heavily on the centre and the Nagaland government. And this time around, for its question over the lack of 33% reservation for women in Nagaland's civic polls. And the statement that has been put out by the Supreme Court, that's very interesting. It says if it's not a BJP-led government, if it's not a BJP-led state, then you criticize the hell out of that state.
Sorry, Kabir, could you please come up with your question once again?
Well, I was just talking about, how the Supreme Court has come down heavily on the Nagaland government and the central government over its lack of 33% quota for women in the civic polls. And it says, at a drop of hat, you take a stand against non-BJP states.
Well, yes, this rap, from the Supreme Court, obviously, many would say that it has become a routine affair now. And as far as the calling out of the government on matters such as these, which are very intricate, which have a long-lasting impact, have become very common now. And the government should be rather more wary of any development or steps that it is going to take as far as say a delimitation in Assam is concerned, the allocation of reservations to the Garo and Khasi tribes in Nagaland is concerned, for that matter, I would say changing the syllabus of state boards and central boards are concerned. All these things put the government in a very tight spot. They are under the scanner, and this time around, Supreme Court coming out and asking the government to, take a look at what it has decided as far as Nagaland is concerned. So, judicial authorities, judicial oversight, or their checks and balances that are in place are always welcome. But if the government has good reasons to go for what it has decided, then I guess we have known this government to fight it out tooth and nail, even in the corridors of Supreme Court. So let's see how it turns out to be. And but yes, for this particular NDA and Narendra Modi government, I would say that with such unrest in Manipur, as of now, any change, any sort of ethnic change on ethnic lines or societal lines, everything would go through the scanner of Manipur.
It'll have it'll act as a catalyst for. It'll have larger implications and ripple effect. Certainly, the Supreme Court here says, Pankaj, you will take an extreme stand against state governments which may not be amenable to you. Your own state government is violating the constitutional scheme and you don't want to do anything. How can you wash your hands off of it? This comes from a bench led by Justice S.K. Kaul that told Additional Solicitor General K.M. Nataraj, who represented the centre. Now, the BJP is a partner in coalition government led by the Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party in Nagaland. The urban local body elections have been long overdue in the state, where the last elections were held in the year 2004. Nagaland failed to implement one-third reservation for women in the civic body elections, which is why the Supreme Court has come down heavily. 2004 was the last time civic polls were held in Nagaland.
Well, that's the whole, I would say, sorry state of affairs, Kabir. We talk about, putting Northeast on our priority list. We talk about bringing peace and amenity in Northeast. But if you see that since 2004, which is almost 18, 19 years from now, if there has been no local body polls, then how do you expect the grassroots level service delivery, first of all, and secondly, the faith of the common people in the administrative polity, that becomes very weak, because not every villager would want to go to a high court or a district court, for his pleas to be heard. So for them, the recourse becomes the gram panchayats, the block level, the taluka level officers. And if that leadership is missing as of now, then I think either it would be one-way traffic or it would be no traffic at all, as far as the administrative give and take is concerned. So it's a worrisome situation, definitely. And as I was mentioning, it's not just Nagaland. If you take a look at what happened in Meghalaya, what is happening in Mizoram and Manipur, Conrad Sangma obviously had to face the ire of some miscreants when his office was attacked the day before yesterday on the choice of a winter capital of Tura, whether it should be
Right.
made winter capital or not. So slowly but surely, I wouldn't say that these were the embers which were covered and now they have suddenly started to sprout. But I think with the unrest of in Manipur, with the government on the back foot, somewhere down the line, the cracks have opened. It looks like people and voices from other states too have found an avenue to vent
Right.
out.
And reservation and quota is, at the center of the entire conflict in Manipur as well. So I agree with you when you say that, people will be very careful if they want to touch any of, these issues. But the fact that we're here is because nobody wanted to touch these issues in the past and kept, pushing them under the rug. So what's going to happen? How will the judiciary and the executive and the legislative here act on this particular, quota policy, the reservation policy, when we're looking at the entire Northeast, is going to be very interesting.